These evenings are probably the most enjoyable, truthfully, in the school calendar, because we come together as a school often, in fact, but rarely do we get the chance like this to celebrate the achievements of all of our students, and particularly those that really have done things that stand out to present prizes on behalf of the school. And more will be said about Maurice's impressive CV later, but certainly to have someone with such an impressive career to date, Maurice, and an athlete of your calibre fresh on the back of an extensive cricket season is a real pleasure. So thank you very much for being with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is about celebration in which we honour our former students for their achievements in academic and social fields. Their achievements signal to us that together with the dedication of our staff, the support from all of you, they have really helped us in driving up and continuing to drive up the standards at William Edwards School. And I have to say to you, although it pains me to say it, looking at some of you sat out there, you really were an excellent year group. You rose to the challenge of leadership, no question about that, in terms of the student body, and you did so at a time when you were bracing yourselves for the most important examinations in your lives to date. And of course it was in year 10, when you were taking up the important role of leadership, thinking about year 11, that Ofsted judged this school as outstanding, and you certainly played a significant part in that judgment. You'll be interested, I'm sure, to know that of the 238 students in your year group, that 71% of that year group achieved 5A star to C with English and Maths, which of course you will know, I'm sure, because I told you most of last year, would be the best results in the school's history. And you didn't disappoint, and so well done to all of you for that. Perhaps the most pleasing statistic, though, is that 100% of students left this school with at least one qualification at level 2 or above. And again, that's 6 years in a row that we've achieved that. And it's one of the largest secondary schools in the borough. We're one of the few schools that are able to make that claim. Every single child leaving with a qualification, irrespective of their starting point. And that 71% I mentioned, which of course is the major benchmark which schools are measured by, compares to a national average figure of 57%. And students broadly at this school join us from primary schools below national average. So again, it puts into context the progress the students make at William Edwards. The present Year 11, however, does not sit in awe of your results, and they themselves have already set an impressive standard, and it will not surprise me to tell you all that I've already said to them several times in Assembly that they will exceed the performance of yourselves, and that is indeed a challenge, but one which I'm sure they can meet. And we have a tradition here of encouraging all our pupils to make improvements in order to maximise the ability that they have and ultimately to make the most of their talents, which I'm sure is something that you'll hear a little bit from Maurice about a little bit later, about how you maximise the talent that you have. And every single one of you sat in this room here this evening has considerable talent. I think we know that. And you should all continue to set yourself challenging goals and set out with commitment, determination and real effort to realise them. And I think, again, the common theme that we have all the time, and I was mentioning to Maurice just a moment ago before we came in here, the reason that we relish the opportunity to have such great sportsmen and women in the school is they continually give us the same message, which is that if you work hard and you dedicate yourself to a goal, you can achieve absolutely anything. In fact, it was the theme of a whole school assembly very recently. The key to success is determination and persistence, and it's often been said that genius is 5% inspiration and 95% determination. There's a quote, I've used this before, I don't think you've heard it, but I've used it before at evenings like this. Calvin Coolidge, a former US president, he said this: "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than an unsuccessful man with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated failures, but persistence and determination alone are all powerful and are the key to success." I think there's an awful lot for us all to take from that. And as a year group, you've certainly shown that determination and persistence, and I think we all look forward to seeing the Year 11 following your footsteps, but of course we also look forward to hearing about the wonderful things that you will go on and achieve after having left us here, because what's certainly true is that the major part of our job is not just about what you do here, but it's about making sure we've set the foundation so that you can go on and be successful in your future lives. And I feel confident we've done precisely that when I look around the room this evening. Maurice will talk to you shortly a little bit later.
The Whitmore Sporting Prize is awarded to Robbie Clarence.
Sorry, Mr. Mondo. The Warren Sporting Prize is awarded to Nick Collins. The Warren House Prize is awarded to Emily Garrett Morgan. The Broome Sporting Prize to Jordan Purkis. And the Broome House Prize to Ellie Chegwidden. Progress Prize, the Sociology Progress Prize, both to Harry Cox. The PE Progress Prize to Megan Edwards. The ICT Progress Prize to Bradley Herbert. The Drama Subject Prize to Chloe Jameson. Progress Prize and the Modern Foreign Languages Progress Prize to Benjamin Mears. The Mathematics Progress Prize to Scott Miller. The Achievement in Literacy Progress Prize to Kieran Mitchell. The PE Subject Prize and the Science Progress Prize to Lewis Moore. The Drama Progress Prize and the BTEC Overall Subject Prize to Fern Reeve. The Music Performance Subject Prize to Callum Sayers.
She has also played a key role in the celebration of International Women's Day, presenting her view on the contemporary relevance of feminism to the entire school. She is a credit to the school and to women everywhere, and is sure to go on to further her achievements in college and beyond. The well-deserved winner of the Sociology Cup is Ellie Gosling.
trophy is awarded to the student. It goes to a student who's shown a natural flair and interest in the subject. While studying for her GCSE history, she participated in external learning opportunities both here and abroad. Her knowledge and study of the subject even kept her teacher on her toes, constantly seeking ways of challenging her learning to achieve the amazingly high results in the subject. A pupil that was thoroughly rewarding and enjoyable to teach. The Churchill Bowl for History is awarded to Nicola Brown. The winner of the Literary Trophy is
journey during their time at this school. From district champions to national and international finalists, both boys experienced it all during the time here. They both epitomise what it means to be a champion and worked hard not only in their chosen sport but also academically. Like many of their peers, their strong sporting ethos resulted with them also representing the school in many other areas, and it is without doubt that both Tom Head and Robbie Claricoat are deserved winners this year of the Measures Cup Trophy.
And determination can lead to success. From year 7, when he started to learn French, he showed a great deal of enthusiasm for language learning. This enthusiasm continued when he began German as a second language in year 8. His love for languages was such that he decided in year 10 to continue with both French and German at GCSE, studying French as an additional subject after school. His results of A* in both French and German bear testament to his passionate and extremely conscientious approach to language learning. He is now studying both languages at A-level and has started learning yet another foreign language at GCSE. His intention is to eventually become a language teacher himself and share his passion for languages with others. It's been an absolute pleasure to teach him, and we wish him all the best for all his future endeavours. Ladies and gentlemen, the subject prize for MFL is awarded to Jordan Roberts.
Clearly a hard-working student who was determined to obtain the best results possible. He was always aware of what was needed to be done, attending revision sessions after school and working hard at home, producing revision notes and as well as helping support his peers with explanations and questioning. Through hard work and determination and natural aptitude for science, he proved that he was the strongest overall triple scientist for this year. The Science Trophy was awarded to Scott Miller.
This pupil showed from a very early age that he had an aptitude for ICT. He continued to progress and show real enthusiasm for the subject throughout his 5 years at William Edwards. It was his tremendous commitment, determination and hard work in ICT which resulted in him achieving an A* in his final GCSE exam. The Charles Babbage Trophy for ICT is presented to Thomas Hart.
The winner of this award is an outstanding mathematician, securing a GCSE A* in Year 9 via hard work, dedication, and then giving up huge quantities of their own time, going and teaching the new batch of talented mathematicians. You would think gaining an A* would be a prize in itself. This pupil went on to study AS Maths in Year 11, gaining a grade C in Core 1 and Core 2 Maths while she was doing her GCSEs. She did maths for fun, because it was there. Nicola Brown, you're wonderful. This year's
hard decision for me, as all of the students were incredibly hard-working and really pulled together as a class. And for that, I just want to thank them. However, the prize does go to the one student who was consistent with their performance throughout the 2 years of the course. They were always polite, well-mannered, had a brilliant sense of humour. They thought nothing of staying behind after school for revision and extra classes, often until 7 p.m, always striving for perfection. This perfection was shown with them achieving the highest grade out of the class in their controlled assessment. Whatever the challenge was set for this particular student, they met it head-on and with determination and an excellent work ethic. I know this student will do well in the future. And that is why the Geography Prize for this year goes to Emily Garrett-Morgan.
Made a huge impression in his first role for us, so much so that we actually built our most recent production around him. We tend to specialise in Shakespearean comedies, really. After all, who doesn't enjoy a bit of music, gender reversal and sexual innuendo? But tragedies, they're trickier. And it was this young man that convinced us we could pull off arguably Shakespeare's most challenging play, the most quoted work of literature in the English language, after all. It's hard to appreciate the weight we put on his shoulders, but not only did he cope with the pressure, he thrived on it. Perhaps because he's such an articulate, thoughtful young man himself, his Hamlet was utterly believable and compelling from start to finish. He brought the best out in his colleagues, his soliloquies were wonderful, and I'm immensely proud of him. This year's Willie for Best Actor goes to Jordan Roberts.
One student has performed magnificently and has been a real credit to herself, her family and her school. And she produced some of the best results in the country and some of the best results that this school has ever seen by an individual. She's already been mentioned once or twice this evening. I'm delighted that this Henderson Academic Shield is awarded to Nicola Brown. The winner of this award has enhanced the school's reputation and has always been a first-class ambassador. He has set the example of maturity that is a hallmark of a fine citizen. Indeed, his performance at the National Athletics Championships that I witnessed will live long in the memory of everyone that was there. Whenever called upon to participate in a school project, he threw himself into it wholeheartedly, including managing a group of students that helped with the summer refurbishment works in the school in the 6-week holiday. It's been a real pleasure to watch him thrive and develop over the past 5 years, and I'm delighted that this award goes to Lewis Moore. The Headmaster's Progress Prize has been an inspirational student during his time at William Edwards. It would be the first to say that it is not always found learning easy, and yet through hard work, positive attitude and on occasion sheer courage, he's excelled in school and left us with a set of results to be proud of. In addition to his academic progress, he's also been a reliable and active student around the school, contributing fully to school life here. Always ready with a smile and cheerful hello, and has always been willing to help. It's with great pleasure and pride that we award this year's Headmaster's Progress Prize to James Barter. Man spent his time at William Edwards School keeping a low profile because of his shy demeanour until year 11. He was not only successful in his application for prefect status, but also his potential was recognised and he became a member of the student executive. During the course of his final year, he took part in numerous extracurricular activities and visits to extend his learning, one of them being a trip to Auschwitz in Poland. He was so moved by the visit that he was motivated to push himself way outside his comfort zone. He stood up in front of over 1,000 people in this school hall to recount his experience in a whole school assembly, and his powerful presentation reduced many to tears. His maturity, his courage and his ability to empathise with others that is beyond his years, the Masuda Trophy for International Relations goes to Liam Wilson. Ellie joined us here at William Edwards in Year 10. Her efforts during her time here were incredibly high. She was a pleasure to teach and help the pastoral staff in supporting other students in a whole host of different ways. Her strength through adversity was recognised by the Jack Petchey Foundation, and it's certainly a credit to herself and the hard work that she produced in her time here at William Edwards that we're able to award the Western Trophy to Sarah Abbott. All too often we can easily reward talent without considering the relative merits of sheer hard work and tenacity. The winner of the attendance trophy has a great work ethic and her commitment has been tremendous. The inaugural winner of this trophy is Sarah Gray. Next is the community. It is, of course, the most prestigious honour in any school to be asked by your peers, in fact, to lead the year group and indeed the entire student body. And I have to say, the process at this school in order to achieve that particular role is incredibly difficult and challenging. But this young man has always demonstrated fine leadership qualities and a degree of charisma. You notice I say a degree of charisma, Lewis. He performed exceptionally well at interview, and he genuinely did, and proved to be a fine head boy. And he worked hard to develop his leadership skills and to promote the school, as well as being mindful of his own academic responsibilities. In the end, he was able to pull off a fine double. No question about that. The head boy award, of course, goes to Lewis Moore. To be appointed head girl, as I've said, is the pinnacle, I guess, of a student's career at any school. And at William Edwards, it's certainly a esteemed and coveted role. And throughout her school career, this young woman demonstrated charisma, confidence, and when she was appointed, it was in the face of some incredible competition. I remember those interviews, and it was, without question, the most difficult decision I and my colleagues had to make. Because it really was an incredibly strong field, but it was actually very clear in the end that we needed to make Ellie Gosling head girl of this school, and she did a tremendous job. Well done, Ellie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Usually I don't really do this because I'm very nervous in front of the camera and everything, but I thought I'd just take the opportunity to, to build my confidence with speaking on TV in front of cameras and little stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very delighted to be here tonight, and I want to thank you guys for having me. And when I first started playing cricket, I was just doing it for the fun of it. I didn't really expect it to reach this far. I was just doing it to something to occupy my time over the weekend, really, and stuff. So I joined a county cricket club called Leighton County, which Trey here also played for in the past. And I played 2 games for the club before I've been called up by Essex for my age group trials. I was about 15 at the time. And my first game for Leighton was in the second team where I took 5 wickets. They said to me, look, you're playing in the first team following week. And following week, I took another 5 wickets, and then I get a call up for Essex. And went on the trials, did really well. Got into the Essex age group, under 15 team. And then been called up at the academy, Essex Academy. I went there, performed really well. And next thing I know, I was just given a box full of Essex kit. Said, well done, part of the academy. So here I am, today still playing for Essex professionally, and also represented England under 19s and the England Lions both on the tour to West Indies and in the backup squad for the Ashes, the last Ashes that we played over in Australia. So yeah, happy days.
I am so made up that you came tonight, Ross, I tell you, I am so delighted. Can we have another round of applause for you? I've got really gobby 14-year-old that I live with at the moment, and I keep telling him that you have what I consider to be the best job in the world. I cannot think of any other job that sort of comes up to that other than one that we do here. Genuinely. What must it be like to go onto a cricket field and everybody is absolutely petrified of you?
Yeah, cricket is a wonderful sport, really. I enjoy doing it. I get a lot of stick when I was at school playing. My friends used to say stuff like, you know, why do you play cricket? Who plays cricket? I don't even understand that game. But you know, I knew within myself why I play cricket. I love the game, and I've got a passion for the game. And you know, to play in front of so many people, it's a little nervous to start with, but as it goes along, you know, you kind of got the hang of it and become more confident. And you know, just enjoy what you do, really. So.
Now, I've got some chaps here who are just as happy as I am that you're here today, and I'm going to introduce them. And they've come up with some questions because I've got to say that we're really privileged to get this opportunity. We weren't expecting to be given this opportunity, but we would all like to thank Mr. Monday and Mr. Bell and Miss Wood for giving us this opportunity to ask these questions. So we've got all these lads here. They all play for Orsett, which is our local club, and a club also that I had the pleasure of playing a number of years for. And also, so we've got Ryan, we've got Tom, we've also got Clay, and we've got Joe, and they are budding cricketers, and they've all sort of play at pretty good standards, and they've had some real achievements, some really good performance figures over the last season in particular. So, they've got some questions that they've come up with. Obviously, they're going to have to stand on here as well. So, who's going to go first? Go on then, Tom. You alright? Tom's got his name.
Why did you choose cricket over university? Because you didn't go to university, you wanted to pursue cricket.
Choose cricket over university because, you know, when I was at college, all that I ever wanted to do was to play cricket. And I can remember my tutor used to say to me, I think you should stop playing cricket and, you know, focus on education. And I said to her, Miss, if you think I'm going to give my cricket up, you have another thing coming. You know, so, you know, I missed out on a lot of opportunities, you know, by, you know, being at college, you know, cricketing opportunities that is. And for example, the under-19s World Cup, I missed out on that due to, you know, being at college and stuff. So, what I really, you know, when I finished college, I just really wanted to just get away and just go play cricket. So what I did all the pass criteria and just, you know, just head off really. Didn't even do the merits or the distinction. Just wanted to play cricket. That's all I ever wanted to do. So yeah.
So you followed your heart. Yeah. Right. Who has had the greatest influence on your career today?
I've grown up watching former West Indian players. I'm talking about fast bowlers here. Currently Ambrose and Courtney Walsh. You know, I really looked up to those guys, and a couple of years back, you know, I played a charity match with Courtney Walsh, and you know, it was just amazing. He's a big, tall guy, and he said to me, mate, just make sure you take a lot of wickets, and just, you know, just do your best, because it's the only thing that people's going to remember you for. If you're a bowler, if you don't take a lot of wickets, people won't remember you. If you're a batsman and you don't score a lot of runs, people won't remember you. So, you know, just make sure you take a lot of wickets.